Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we've got a map from a creator we've done just the once in the past, back in episode 653, and they got a miserly 7 stars. It was a little bit of a train wreck of a map. Today's map is a vast improvement. This is a creator who has made leaps and bounds. Now, sure, there are still problems with the map, and to be fair, we will cover them. But I'm going to tell you now, if you're looking for a tropical map with a decent amount of build space, there are worse choices than this one, so give it some serious consideration. But before we do any considering, I'd like you to do something very definitive, please. That's right, being definitive really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people, and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is kaz'alm by Legionarie, and there you go. Your thumbnail looks just like that, doesn't it? In fact, is it mirrored? No, it's not. It's just rotated. Sorry. Oh, it's mirrored. No, it's not. Okay, there's your start square, and we've got bay on both sides, which means you can draw from one and pump to the other. Good plan. Your terrain heights are relatively flat on today's map, with just a couple of ridges here and there. And then your resources, like that offshore oil, even. Off-sea oil. It's on the land. No, it's not. It's there. And fishing. Yeah, pollute those fish with your oil. Go on, I dare you. I dare you. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? No DLC today. We've got a few trees, and we've got the New Caledonia concrete theme, our cinematic LUT HD1. We're also using network extensions too, apparently, or did I even remember that? I'm sure we are. We'll check that out in a moment. Any road outside connections are really not necessary for this map, but we're using it, apparently. And yeah, there you go, all of those things. Right, so it's a good looking map. Caledonia with our cinematic work really well together for some light, nice white sandy beaches. Now, starting off in the deep fog where it really doesn't matter, we have this. And it's a train wreck. Okay, but I'm not marking the map down for this, but this is the most bizarre, ridiculous edge of map that I've seen in a long while. Even that left and right arrow. Why? How? What? I had to check the map to see if this actually did work, and although it did take a little while for the traffic to spawn, the traffic did actually spawn. So it's not broken, it's just comical? We'll go with comical, I feel. Okay, so then we've got a long tunnel which will bring us up onto the mainland. It's a good way of bringing the traffic in, you know, under the water. Except for me, this is probably my biggest grumble. We have a tunnel which is visible. In fact, it's literally just underneath the surface. What I would suggest, actually not do, what I would suggest, if you're looking to do a undersea tunnel, build the sea, don't have the sea level right at the bottom of the map, build the sea level up a bit, and then you've got a little bit of ground to actually dig a tunnel into. You can see that's what's happened. It's probably a last minute thought when everything was already in place, and then it was too late. It was just too late. Probably. Right, okay, then the tunnels emerge here. It's not the prettiest, but again, this is way off away from where you'd be building, so I'm okay with it. Nice bit of tree detailing, good choice of trees today as well. That's a little bit of a drop down into that tunnel, and the essential lighthouse, which you would need a rope tackle to actually climb up onto. Because look how high that is raised. Yeah, okay, let's not be too picky, because I just said it was out of view and away from the start square. This also, if you're looking for realism, I think this is a bit of a stretch of the imagination to see a train climbing out of that. Yeah, it's not broken. Trains will climb out of that. The old vanilla physics, they won't care. They won't care. Okay, now following the highways along, definitely not network extensions too, but yeah, I guess if you're building your city, you might want to have network extensions too. Your rail ends there anyway. Then we've got a bit of a solid jinky-janky going on here. Look at the road right there where then it goes straight. Let me just fix this one up. It's not, once again, not the master of all fixes, just a quick fix, this one. spend a bit more time on this if you want, but that already is a lot smoother. There you go. Right, so and now we'll head on. So we have one rail connection. We have these two highway connections. They'll take us straight into the start square, and that will be it. So we'll have to go straight into the asset review, which again is another good one for one of my favourite creators. I do like a British creator. Where are you? Ah, there he is, right there, a couple of blocks. It's the UK Industrial Warehouse #1 by Rick 4000. I just feel so at home. There are so many units like this dotted around the UK, and not so far from me here actually. Almost identical. You've got two buildings, one with the office, one without the office, in the same pack. I'll pop them both down, you can choose. And factoids, because factoids. What have we got? Christopher Columbus, the Italian explorer who is credited with the discovery of America, died on this day in 1506. Today's date, the 20th of May. On one occasion when he was in trouble with the inhabitants of Jamaica, he was so in danger of losing his life, he saved himself by blotting out the moon. He was able to perform this amazing feat because he knew it was the date of a lunar eclipse. Could never have done it if the world was flat, you know. Could never have done it. Oh, anyway, good old Columbus died on this day, 500 and a bit years ago. UK Industrial Warehouse #1 by Rick, which means we've got another one coming probably next week. Looking forward to that one. And that would be that. And with no more highways to look at, let's take that intermission. Off we go.
Wouldn't it be great if Cities Skylines had tides within the game? Well, now it does, thanks to TPB's Tides mods. Want to know more? Then you need BonBonB's Tides tutorial. Click the information button below.
Perfect map for trying out the Tides mod as well, I would suggest. Wonder why I put in the Tides mod trailer right there. I don't know. Anyway, shipping routes at kaz'alm by legionarie, and they're fine. They're absolutely fine. We've got little triangle, smootherers. There's a word. We go over the uppy downy tunnels. We're not looking at those today. We're going to ignore that. We've already said it doesn't matter. It's out of sight. It's out of mind. It's fine. Water flow. Well, we've got the two bays. Let's just see if there was any actual water flow in the bays. And it doesn't really seem to be moving. Let's try the other one. The other one, past all those fields, those janky fields there. And nope, there's no water flow. But that doesn't matter. You can draw from one, pump into the other. I suggest drawing from that one because it's a bay and the sewage won't get away with it. Okay, so it's a good looking map. Good shape, interesting shapes of islands as well. We come down here. Oh, it's a castle. Oh, it's a castle. Now this one does remind me of the game Tower Defense. Lots of variations of Tower Defense. Tower Defense is a game where the enemy starts marching up towards your castle, and then you place your towers, and your towers have archers and stuff like that. And so we have to march all the way up here, and then we turn around and we have to march all the way back. It's a fun castle. Is it a great castle? No, it's a fun castle. And it's all about fun. This game is about traffic, basically. But if it wasn't about traffic, it would be about fun. And we've had some fun with that one, I would suggest. I don't suppose there's much more because there are loads of towers with the walls running right the way through them. Door placements aren't consistent. Some are on the outside like that one, which will make it very easy to break into, or at least get to a higher location and start shooting your arrows from the tower. Yeah, it's fun. We'll go with that. What more have we got? We've got islands. Now, first of all, the Essential Lighthouse down here, probably the best one on the map for me. Quite like this one. It's on solid ground. It's got a good view over a peninsula. Works for me. Then we have this island. Now, I was thinking Bonbon Island, but it's a bit flat. It's about the right size, possibly a smidge larger than I would like. But yeah, slightly less flat island for a Bonbon Island. Bonbon Island is, of course, where I would like to retire to. This is a bit better. This is not so flat. It's possibly still a little larger, but not too bad. But it does have 3 essential lighthouses, and as much as I love the essential lighthouse, I don't want to be keeping 3 lighthouses in my retirement, so I won't be moving to this island either. Now, this next island, I don't believe at all would be the location for a lighthouse. It's a sandbar, and that is likely to be washed away, and then, well, what would happen? It's not very solid ground for a lighthouse. This is solid ground for a lighthouse, and although in front of it you've got that block, it's working in tandem. I say tandem, there's 5 of them here. 5, what's 5? Sanctum, maybe? Sanctum? Blimey. It's working with the others. It's probably just showing the entry to this bay, and that's fine. Okay, beaches. I'm loving the beaches. The beaches have actually had some consideration put into them. Like, see the sand ends there where it starts getting cliffy. Let's come and have a look over here. So we've got the old peninsula over there. If we follow over here, see where the sand stops? Sand stops when it starts getting a bit cliffy. I'm quite happy with all of that, okay? Then I'm going to... I want to come back to that bay. Where are we? The bay. Right, there are some rocks down here that I'm not digging the sand on these rocks here. It just looks like a hastily painted area. I would lose the sand off of those rocks just to make it look a little bit more rocky. Yeah, I think so. Other than that, I quite like it. I do quite like the old beaches. We have a crater, a water-filled crater, and it's a low point, so it probably would be water-filled. Liking the fact that it's tiered as well, which is going to make building around here a lot more easy, so that's quite nice as well. Got a good mix of trees, although they do seem to be just randomly sprawled. There's just it's just a random tree brush all over, but it's a good mix. It's a good mix of trees. It's just a little bit crazy. And then we have lots of little ponds. I'm liking these. These add this to breaking up the between the trees and the cliffs. It works for me. Like it. And here as well. I've got to say that this lake, though, why would this not have foliage around it? I don't understand. It looks a bit bland and a bit bare and a bit bleak. And especially when we've got this possible feature area with a waterfall. Okay, how's that much water coming out of there? Doesn't matter really. It's a little bit of a fantasy map, I guess. But what I would do is I would grab some trees. I'm just going to use the move it copy paste function. And I'm really putting no time and effort into this. This is only sped up about 200%. And I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a larger patch of trees like that. And again, just put a little bit there. Bum, 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 bum. Right. And I think instantly we've made a huge difference. And that was with very little effort whatsoever. No time, no thought, just plopped trees. So yeah, it could be a little bit. There could be a little bit more fun around that area there, feature area. Right. One last thing: the fields. The fields are lots of different odd and weird shapes, like this triangular type one. There's a and then you've got an upside down something going on there. Now, but have a look at this. This is fun. Legion. Look at the way it's spelt out there in the shapes of the. I like that. They've got his own tag. Got his, her, got their. Sorry, did I just assume your gender? Got their own tag in the fields on their map. I like that little touch. Anyway, what do you think of this map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really counts, really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. What do I think? It could sneak in, actually. It's not the worst if you ignore what's out in the fog. Because what's out in the fog is ghastly. But aesthetically, I think it's a good looking little map. And it's not a great looking little map, but it's a good looking little map. I can't find a reason not to give it a 4th star. So I'm going to go with the 4 stars on the acceptance that it's far from a high 4. But it's a solid 4. 4 stars. Detailing. Detailing is both good and bad. If you ignore the bits that are out of sight and out of mind, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. I'm going to give it 3 stars for detailing and be done with it. Gameplay potential. You could have a good tropical island play on this. You could. I think I'm looking for a reason to give it a 4th star, and I can't really see one. But I think 3 stars for gameplay is a fair score. Yeah, you can play this quite happily. Kaz'alm by Legionnaire. That is a very solid tropical island map. Don't forget, 3 stars is not a bad score. 3 stars is the pass mark. 3 stars is, hey, more could be done, but do you know what? It's playable. It's fine. If something gets 3 stars across the board, there's no reason not to play it. And there's no reason not to play this one. In fact, it looks alright. Just put the fog back on before you do play it, won't you? Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. Join me tomorrow for another map in the What's Map series. And coming up this weekend is the top 10 maps, mods of the year.